Hello, my name's Kate Wilkinson. I am a hair artist in Northern Arizona, and you can follow me on Instagram at Kate Wilkinson Hair. Here today, I am going to show you how I do this color. This is our starting point. As you can see, she has a lot of blonde going up and a lot of warmer tones going on, and I just wanted to tone those down and deepen her base while still keeping some of her highlights in there. I'm just starting off by spraying her mid-ends to ends with water. I didn't want those highlights. I just wanted to blend really nice, and so I didn't want the root color and color that I'm putting on to grab onto her blonde too dark, and I wanted to make it a soft blend into the root color, into her existing colors. And so then I take my bath pack brush, which I use all the time, love it, and I just comb through, put a little bit of leave-in conditioner on. I use the Redkins, I think it's all One United. Yep, there it is, One United. Has 25 reasons why you should use it, all very good reasons. And so it smells amazing if you guys have not tried it. So I start here in no, I'm not starting here in the back. I think I've gone around the edges and like near her hairline, and so I'm just showing you here in the back how I'm applying it and how far. And what I was doing was just trying to richen her tone so that because it was just kind of a little splotchy and looking all over the place, and so I wanted to deepen it and create some dimension and richness in her hair. So the color formula for her root color, I used Shades Q Cream, and I used a mixture of 6N, 6WM, and 4M. And the 4M, oh my gosh, is so pretty. I love that color. I love mixing it with my, even if it's just a little bit, to my like 5 and 6 levels, just depending on how rich you want to make something. It is so pretty. So here I finished up putting on her root color. I am combing that through. And then I'm going to be pulling out pieces and bringing down her root color into her highlights. So creating some dimension and lowlights. So here you can see I'm taking the size of sections that I'm taking are never the same. It's just something you have to eye in this situation. So you just have to go off feeling and eye, and it is kind of different doing like a reverse highlight, doing the low light, and like, because I don't know, when I do a lot of highlights, so when I have to think the opposite as far as color placement, it can be a little tricky, but mentally, but just think the opposite way of what you would do for a highlight when you're putting in the lowlights. Like, leave her existing color and think of that as the highlight, if that makes any sense at all. I just wanted to give a shout out to, I can never say, I'm not sure if I'm saying this brand's name right, but I think it's Kitschk or something like that. Kitschk. I'm gonna write it down here for you guys to see. I follow them on Instagram, and they just have the cutest hair clips ever, and they sent me those rose gold claw clips. And if you're looking for a good claw clip, I would recommend these clips. Not only do they work really well, but they're really cute too. I am a sucker for all things rose gold. I love to collect hair tools for the salon in the rose gold colors. So if you like rose gold, these ones are a fun one. As you can see, I am just finishing up her lowlights in the back sections and picking up different sizes of lowlights. And with her lowlight, I did take a few of them all the way down, but not too many. Very, very few did I take all the way down to the very ends. And if I did, most of them are in the back and the underneath on her sides, but nothing on the top. It comes down different lengths as we're going along. And here I'm just showing you what pieces I took towards the front, just so you guys can get an idea of kind of placement for when you're gonna try out this color for yourself. Just trying to keep the ones that are closest to the face lighter still, and then just bringing down some of the underneath pieces darker so that the brighter pieces will pop. Now I'm moving on to her highlight. I am going to be doing some hair painting and popping some of her existing lightness just a little bit brighter to give it more dimension, and so that it will take the toners that I'm going to be applying even better. And so I use Scruples hand clay lightener, and I used, I believe it was 20 volume, maybe 30 volume, and I used pH bonder with it as well. That pH bonder is from Redken, and it's like an Olaplex that you add to your lighteners, and I really, really like it. And I am using a 2-inch wide chip paintbrush, and I really, really like using the paintbrushes. They give such a soft blend. At the end here, I am going to show you another brush I use to help with more blending, just because these two colors going into each other can kind of create some harsh lines, and I did not want that at all. Even though I'm going to be toning, I just still like using a lot of blending techniques just to be sure. And so I use the chip brush here, and then I'll show you the other brush that I use later on. And here's just a view of the side and the front area, just giving you an idea of placement and the pieces I pull to pop. But I mean, this is such a custom color that when you are doing and trying it for yourself, you can pick up, and nothing has to be perfect. So here I am using the blur brush. This is the second brush I talked about. This one's by Redken, and as you can see, it just takes those lines and just softens and blurs them. So after I do that, I let her process probably for 10 minutes or so, and then we washed her. And here I am putting on her toner. I did pre-shampoo with the Fanola No Yellow, which I love. I just got the Fanola No Orange, and I'm really excited to try that out on some of my other videos, because I would have used it on this application here because she has more of those warmer golden tones, so she would have been the perfect person. But the Fanola No Yellow helps with some of the yellow tones on the ends. And here I'm putting on her toner, and I used a mixture of a lot of things. So I did a mixture of 9N, 9NW, 9P, and 9NA. It was a lot of things. But I did this with crystal clear as well, and those were all equal parts. So the shades and then the crystal clear was equal parts, and then I did equal parts of processing solution. And the reason I did processing solution and the crystal clear this time, because normally I use 10 volume, and the reason I went with the processing solution was because I wanted it to deposit darker onto her hair. And so, as you guys know, those that work with shades, they do go on pretty dark, and I left it on for a long time because I wanted it to go on darker. I didn't want it like a level 9 or 10. So that's what we did. I just made sure it stayed on for a long time, and by long time I mean like 10 to 15 minutes. Normally I leave on my toners for around 5 to 8 minutes. So you'll just see the end results, and it actually did cut a lot of her tones out. She would probably, it's so hard to tell in this picture, but she probably lifted to like a level 9 or 8. But shades can go on so dark if you leave it on for a long time. So yeah, I think it did well toning out all the unwanted tones that she lifted to. And so I always start in the back when I'm applying my toners, and then I try to leave it on the like her root to mids, and then I go back afterwards and I apply it to the ends of her hair. And that just gives it some dimension, like not dimension, but transitional colors, rather than just putting it all on there. I want to give it like a little bit of brightness at the end because I feel that gives it a more natural look. And I left this toning video footage in here for such a long time because I wanted to show you guys how I really work in my toners. I don't just slap them on and just like hope for the best. I shampoo after I've done the bleaching and using the lighteners, because you want to shampoo all of that out, because if not, then your toners are gonna end up blotchy on the hair. So that's like really important. And then making sure you're really massaging that color into there, because there's been times, like as I've learned over the years, that if you don't massage it in there, you're gonna end up with some splotchiness and have to redo it again, or you let your salon guest walk out the door and it just looks really bad. So anyways, after it's sit, this is the color it deposited to, and to me that looks like a level 8 more than like a level 9, but it's all, we all see something different. So here I am just blow drying her out. She actually was taking photos for me in the salon that I used for my Instagram and for my website, which was so fun. And so yeah, she was just sitting there taking some pictures while I was blow drying her hair. We had so much fun doing that. I love getting photos of the salon. So here I am just curling her hair and getting ready to take some photos. And I am using the T3 micro curling iron. It is amazing. I have been doing hair for quite a few years now, and this curling iron is by far the best curling iron that I have ever used. I don't think I will ever switch, maybe if something better comes out, but I honestly am just so happy with the way it heats up, with the way it curls the hair. I have clients that their hair won't even curl, and I use this on their hair and it curls and it lasts, and that just says a lot. And here is her before, if you guys didn't remember, and here is her after. We were so happy with the way this turned out. The richness, the highlights, the tone, everything. And it was just so fun to do her color. And I just thank you guys for watching, and if you guys have any questions for me, please feel free to leave me a comment and I will try to answer them as best I can. And you can find me on Instagram, and please feel free to subscribe, share,